Hey there, I got my first North Park beer. So North Park is a brewery from San Diego, California, and they're pretty respected for their hazy IPAs and their non-hazy ones. This is a hazy pale ale, DDH hazy pale ale, Sunny with Citra and Rakau. I think it's a series of pale ales called Sunny with different hops. And Rakau is one that I think it's easy to get confused with Rawaka, right? Similar names. I think they're both from New Zealand. I think I like Rakau more. This is canned July 10th, so exactly a month ago. It says, double dry hop the Citra, Citra Cryo, Citra Incognito. Freestyle Rakau. Freestyle is just the farms that make it in New Zealand. Freestyle Rakau Sub-Zero Hop Keef. So all these different hop products going in here. And I got this actually near Chicago at Microphone Brewing. They had an event where North Park went and brought a bunch of cans, and I was able to buy some from there. They were pretty expensive, but less expensive than going to San Diego or like trading with someone probably. Very hazy, and I already got a whiff of this, and it smelled very nice. Alright, so that looks very hazy. The head is big, wispy bubbles. That's not going to last too long, but I do like the smell. This is kind of looking like old school breweries making something kind of too hopped. It's looking to me like throat burn, coarse feel, but might smell and taste really good. Very, very hazy. I guess I brought this in my suitcase, so it might have got shaken up a bunch in my suitcase. But it's been sitting in the fridge untouched for almost 24 hours. But it might have some of the sediment stirred up a bit. But you don't necessarily always want that with these hazy beers. Yep, that is explosive. Smells really good. It's very bright lemon candy like. And it's not exactly all orange. It's not orange creamsicle. It's like Sprite. That's like the brighter, zestier citrus fruits. Some grapefruit. What is the Rakau bringing? Is there a little bit of a greener note to it? Maybe a little bit of a, I don't want to say diesel-y note, but just something a little spicier and danker than what you get from Citra, usually. And their yeast is throwing out some esters, but it's just kind of, maybe it's just moving the hops towards candied sort of areas. I'm not getting big, vanilla, candy, or like stone fruit esters. Is that a hint of booze in there? It's only 5.5%. Oh yeah. That has a lot of texture. Not burning the throat yet, but whew, dries out your tongue immediately, even though there's not a lingering intense bitterness like a West Coast IPA. Yeah, this is one that probably shouldn't have gotten shaken around too much, and you can see that that's just got no head now. I honestly haven't had a hazy IPA or pale ale that looked like this in a long time. This is kind of like what Trillium in the old days, and I think still occasionally these days they have a beer turnout looking like this. When the head dies completely, you just know it's not going to be a great feel, but I like the flavor and aroma of this a lot. It actually seems a little bit cleaner, maybe, just like not as big on the esters. So the hops are really shining, and they obviously used a shitload of hops and lots of hop products. And it's funny, it says recipe designed, brewed, and packaged in North Park by North Park Beer Company. Probably because so many breweries are brewing in many different places, and I guess a lot of breweries are using recipes from other breweries too. So I guess it's good to be super clear, maybe. And there's a little happy face. It's getting very spicy, kind of incensey. I feel like it's just overhopped. Whew. It's actually not burning that much. It will once I get to the bottom of it, but I feel like this is something that I gotta blend this with something to cut it a little bit. Yeah, as I sip it, the lingering thing on tongue, it's drying out my tongue, and it's getting very earthy and spicy. Just very earthy, spicy cannabis, indica type stuff happening now. The smell is still super bright citrusy. But it's got to work on the feel, the head, and it's not as if they're kind of almost not always the same thing. If you see a beer with a thick, creamy, nice head, it's often going to feel thick, nice, and creamy. If you see one with a bubbly head that dies out like Coca-Cola, it's going to feel like Coca-Cola. And then on top of it, we're going to have all this bitterness and hop earthiness. But definitely fun. It's fun to try, but I mean, if they could just improve the feel, make it a better drinking experience overall, more pleasant, this would be a really great beer. But it might be impossible or very difficult. You have to kind of dial down the hops, do certain things to make it not as harsh of a feel. But if they did that somehow, it would be a 4.5 beer. But where it is now, maybe a 4.